different video today. I didn't want to do this. I never have done this, but I am going to have to do it. Like, I'll explain everything, and it's going to get really complicated, but a situation just happened, and it's like between breeders, because I'm a breeder, and I was working with another breeder. So basically, if anybody noticed on my website, it says new stud coming end of September, okay? I had purchased, I wanted some new bloodline. I wanted a red male, and I wanted to add some new bloodline in because I'm really closing up on my bloodline. And since Remy boy here, ridiculous, he's laying on his back now, but since Remy boy here is going back to his original owner, well, not the original one, the one before my mom got him. So he's going back to her. And I also have, like, I'm saving bloodline from him, which I really like. And he will still be available for breeding. So since I'm getting rid of him, I wanted a stud, and I really want to start working on my color. I want to start working on getting down to, like, producing a lot of, like, only red. So anyways, break it down. I was looking for a stud, and I messaged some breeders. And there was a stud I was interested in. There was several studs I was interested in. So one was a 4-month-old black and tan smooth, and he came from very nice bloodlines. And I was interested in purchasing him, but someone else had already, like, said that they were going to purchase him. So I just decided to jump the gun, even though, so first off, the 4-month-old, he wasn't the right color, even though he was the right coat length. And I was, like, kind of getting desperate because I need a stud to be able to grow up with my girl, and I don't want to wait too long or I won't have a stud. And I really needed some new bloodlines. So I was thinking fast, and I wasn't being really picky. So I just messaged all the breeders I know, that I like to work with breeders I know, and I found one that had a red male, and I just put a deposit on him, okay? His dad was a short hair, a very nice short hair, and his mom was a long hair. So here's where it was, is I did not want a long hair. And the breeder that I placed the deposit on the puppy knew I didn't want a long hair. And I'm not going to say anything is her fault because that's not my place. She did tell me, she did show me, she was transparent. She showed me the photos of parents, you know, and I, as a breeder, knew that there was a chance that he could be long hair. Plus, the photos I was sent, he kind of had a little bit of, like, wispy hair. So I was kind of thinking he was going to be long hair. But at that point, I was thinking, you know what, whatever, I have the money now, I will place the deposit, okay? And this is a breeder that we have worked with in the past, like my mom has. So my mom got her from the very same breeder. Quit. And this was actually a nephew to her. So I knew the bloodline that I was going to be getting. I was just hoping it would turn out short hair. And so my husband, he always knew this was a bad idea, but he lets me do whatever, so, you know, with the dogs. So I did it anyways, even though I had, like, a feeling that it wasn't the right decision, because I need to be really picky with the bloodlines that I add. Yes, it's good bloodline, but I really want short hairs, and so I need to stop breeding with long hairs if I want short hairs. I really need to start narrowing down on the look I want. So I purchased it anyways. And what's terrible is, like, I know this is a 20-year commitment. So if I don't get the right dog, like, I'm stuck with that dog. And so anyways, she started updating me. Everything was going good. And I started falling in love with him. I named him. Everything was good. She did know that I was, like, iffy, as I kept asking, you know, if someone backed out of, because they would grow a little older, and we started to see coat length, and we started to see that 2 were short haired. And I was like, if anyone wants to back out or trade, like, I want short hair, you know. Red is really important color to me, but I really want short hair. Because, so there's lots of issues with long hair. I have a lot of dogs, okay? You see the dogs that I have, not that many, but I have to groom a lot of dogs for people. I have family members, I have my landlord, I have mine, I have my mom's, you know, and I can't take on a long-haired dog because of the grooming maintenance. I already have to maintain these guys, and I like to really maintain my dogs well. And so already this short hair is high maintenance to me because I like to maintain them and make sure I keep up on nails and everything like that. So there's so much issue, it was all on my part at this point. And I'm not going to call out the breeder's name. If you know the breeder, do not, you know, this was an issue between us, and I'm going to explain both sides, and I'm going to explain it very, very clearly. Because I don't want this incident to get out and damage my name or her name. I believe that breeders need to not be in competition with each other. You know, we already have all the rescue animal activists on our backs. We need to work together to preserve the breeds and show people that we're not just creating puppies for a big buck. We're working on bloodlines. We're working on this. So anyways, I'm gonna move on besides the breeder's point, because this video is supposed to be just about the situation that I was going through. So what happened next? There was many off times. One time I did ask to back out. There's been several times that I regretted it, and I knew it wasn't a good idea, and I knew I should just wait for a puppy. Okay. The other day, the perfect puppy popped up by another breeder that I support. So, and it was the perfect bloodline, perfect color, perfect age, perfect, still a puppy, but not a newborn. So I could see its short hair, its color, its, you know, everything, and its parents, like everything's amazing. That puppy, so this breeder, I don't know really how to put this, but I'll just cut it short. I decided I wanted to buy that puppy. So what happened to my other, a few days before, I had finished paying off that puppy, even though the breeder had told me that she preferred being paid when I picked the puppy up, because that's what everybody else did. Since I already put a deposit, she didn't want me to finish. But for me, I don't like owing people stuff, so I like to pay it off. And so I just thought, all right, I'm already $500 into this dog, might as well pay it off. So I paid the dog off, and I even paid the fees for transferring the funds, like online, since I didn't bring cash. So I even paid the fees, just so I could get him paid off. So then when I changed my mind, here was where the situation went wrong. I found someone, a super good friend, and when I say like a really good friend, like basically family, her son has always owned wiener dogs, and he wanted to take the dog. And I would have bought the dog for him. And we would have worked out like a deal, you know? So he wanted to take the dog, and I let the breeder know, because I'm not just going to take the dog. Like, I want to be honest. I always want to be honest. I don't want to do sneaky stuff behind breeders' backs. I don't want to give breeders a bad name, because we all work together, and I'm trying to... Breeders are very, very vital, and they need to help each other, and that you need to not throw other breeders down, because it gives breeders in general a bad name. And in doing that, you're giving yourself a bad name, and you're not helping yourself, because what if they get a hold of a bloodline that you really need, or they have something in their lines that you really need? So what happened was, I think she started getting off about this, and basically, because I had flip-flopped, I had asked, like, is there a short-haired brother I can have? Like, does someone back out? So I was always flip-flopping. At the same time, my heartstrings were being pulled, because I was being sent videos, photos, and I named him, and I was falling in love with him, but I have a limit to the amount of dogs I can own. If I had my own property, I would have got him. Whether I would breed him or not, I would have got him, I would have neutered him, I would have kept him. So, but I have a limit to the amount of animals I own, and it's a very fine line to walk on, and I have to be careful until I own my own home. And I wasn't careful. I placed a deposit on a dog that I knew had the chance of not turning out like I wanted. Hey, one on either side of the couch. So I had taken that chance, and the terrible part about it is, like, I view these as living animals, and so I was putting that breeder in a position to where I was flip-floppy, and I was also putting that animal in a position to not have a set-up home. And that's why deposits are so important. The reason why you place a deposit is saying that you're serious. Now, the reason why deposits are non-refundable is because if something happens and you have to back out, if you either weren't that serious, something happens, you know, anything happens and you have to back out, that deposit stays with the breeder because you wasted their time, you wasted the puppy's time, and time is money. So that's why deposits are non-refundable. And that's why you can take losses. Like, I was going to lose $500 for nothing. And that's kind of a big deal. So that's why I was trying to stick with the puppy. And that's bad in my mind because as a breeder, if I was a pet home, I would have made something work. But I wanted this to breed. And I have to be extremely picky. Like, I've lost so much money because I've been picky. But in the end, I know that I'm going to have better dogs because of it. So I can't breed every dog I get a hold of. I need to be picky. And if you breed every dog you get a hold of, that's what makes you a backyard breeder. That's what gives normal breeder or breeders who are trying a bad name. That's what causes all those shelter dogs to not get adopted. If you're just slapping any dog together, why not have your person go down to the shelter? There's rescues with puppies. You know, if they want a young age, they can get a young age. So there's no point in breeders if you're not being picky and you're not breeding for specific things. And you're not preserving the breed in the proper way, and you're not working towards creating your vision. So, long story short, because there was kind of some confusion, and I found the other guy who wanted it. I said I wanted to back out at first and get my money back, and then I found the person who would take him and love him like he would have a home forever. The person was excited. I offered the breeder I said I would take the puppy, and I would give it to a friend. And I let her know this, and suddenly she said no. Well, she had said no to some other things, but now she was saying no, and here's where she got wrong. I paid for the dog in full. I have full rights to take that dog. I did not sign a contract. So if I paid for it, you have to either give me the dog or give me the money. If I back out, then, you know, I lose my deposit. I should get the rest back, though, because it wasn't non-refundable. The deposit is what I should have lost on if I backed out. I wanted to take the dog and put it in a home. And this is where I view, and I'm not saying the breeder's wrong. I'm saying from my morals and my standpoint, that is something I would never do. If I let someone pay for a dog, I would give them a full, and I don't want them to have the dog anymore. I would give them a full refund, or I would give them the dog, because that's stealing, that's scamming. So it was kind of off-putting, and the reason why I want to make this video is because both of us did something wrong, and I don't want anyone to do sides. Okay, I was wrong on so many parts, and in my view, she was wrong on the fact that she wouldn't give me the dog, even though she never made me sign papers. She never showed me contracts. All she said was the deposit was non-refundable. That's it. The rest of the money, she never said was not refundable. So you have to be really clear about when you're doing this stuff. And I've been scammed many, many times. Like, I can put stories out there. Okay, I was scammed out of a $7,000 dog. I lost on a $4,000 dog, not scammed. I lost on a $4,500 dog. Well, ended up being almost a $6,000 dog by the time I was done health testing and spending money on it. I lost $400 on another dog. I lost $500 on another dog. I've lost so much behind the scenes that people don't realize, and it's because I'm trying to complete my vision, and I'm really, really trying to produce nice pups. And even with all of that trying, I still take losses. It's part of me not being super mature in, I guess, I don't know how to put it, but through the years, I've had to learn a lot, and I've had to navigate what kind of who I am, what my rules are, what, everything is. And so even in this litter, Boba's litter, I'm taking a $700 loss on one puppy because I'm choosing to discount a puppy because another puppy didn't turn out for someone like they thought it would. And so she was disappointed. And I had no rules that I would do that, but I'm going to do it out of the kindness of my heart because they wanted something particular and turns out they didn't get it. So I'm giving them over a 50% discount. So that's $700 lost on one puppy in Boba's current litter. And another puppy I am taking a large loss on because of how I got Boba. I didn't pay for Boba, so I told Boba's original owner that I would give her a free puppy. I told my sister that I would buy her. My sister got her for free. So I wanted to repay back both of those people who kind of were the bridges to get me Boba. So that's another loss, but I'm fine with it because Boba's super special. My husband really loves her. So that's why I was doing that, because we wanted to keep Boba, even though Boba technically wasn't ours. She was supposed to go back to the person, the original owner, but she allowed us to keep her because my husband has grown a really strong bond with her. And so I agreed to give her a puppy back, and I also agreed to pay my sister for her as well, because my sister didn't want to give her up, but had to give her up due to college and a bunch of life circumstances. That's besides the point. But anyways, to go on to back onto the topic, I'm sorry if I'm not really good at like staying on topic. So to the basis, what we ended up doing, I wanted to make peace with the breeder. I didn't want to cause trouble. I just said, okay, just refund me the $500. You know, I covered fees and everything like that. That's out of question. The deposit, that's out of the question. That's all losses on my part for mistakes that I've made. But she is going to refund me the $500. She's going to make it right. And I feel good about it. I don't feel good about it that she refused to give me the puppy when I asked for it and my husband wanted it. And we would have made something work, or he would have went to a friend, a very good friend. Well, the son of a very good friend. And so the puppy would have gotten a good home. And I even offered to like put her in contact with the person that would get the puppy, like straight contact. They can contact each other, puppy can go straight to him. But she said no. And this is another thing where, in my view, she got it wrong. I think you're money hungry when you won't let things, I shouldn't say money hungry, but it was very odd the way that, first off, she had already spent the money I sent her before I ever got the dog. So that's number one rule as a breeder. Never spend the money until that dog is gone. I do not spend the money. I will spend my husband's money. I will sell something on Marketplace before I spend the money that you sent me until the dog is gone. It doesn't matter if it's a non-refundable deposit. I don't spend that money until that dog is gone. And then that money, it gets invested into the next litter. So, that was something that I also saw wrong. The other wrong was that, I don't know, she said that I can't buy a puppy for someone else, or I would have to repay a deposit. It just seems like she was milking me for money, which I understand. I was a huge waste of her time. But that's what the deposit was supposed to go for. She also said that she doesn't usually refund any money unless there's a death, and I told her there's no death in the family. There was just a bunch of things off. So this is an apology on my part for putting that breeder through that in the first place, when I knew I didn't want a long coat and there was a chance of getting a long coat. So that's the first thing that I'm sorry for. Second off is, mostly just sorry to that breeder, and breeders in general, for wasting her time, making things complicated. I do have a puppy though. I did purchase the puppy. That was exactly what I wanted. I put the deposit on him today. I wanted to figure out the first thing first before I paid for another puppy. But I don't know what to say. Comment down below what you think. I'm trying to be a good breeder. I'm trying to do my best. Also, another topic I wanted to bring up. I am not a business. I am not a business owner. I'm not a small business. This is a hobby right now. I do not make the cut to go into business yet. I will be working on becoming a business, but at the moment I cannot, and I am a hobby breeder right now. So that's one thing to get off the plate right now. And it's because I'm so small scale. And you may think that I'm on a larger scale, but a lot of these litters I am not doing for me, and I do not make the funds off of the puppies, even though I sell the puppies, like hers. We have an agreement, so I will have to owe the stud fee on her. I will have to pay back the owner. I will only be paid for the work. I won't be paid for the puppies themselves. So I will just be reimbursed, basically. But the funds will be sent to me, but they will be put straight into the real owners. They'll be sent to the real owner, basically. So all it is I have corn and I have part of Boba's litter that I made money off of. So I'm not a business. I'm a hobby breeder at this point, and I'm just trying to make the basis of my bloodline before I really want to grow, because I do want to grow. But yeah, I'm really trying to make the foundation of my bloodline. Also, but yeah, leave your comments down below. I'd like to know some more opinions. I'm not stuck up in no way. People make mistakes, you know. Both of us made some mistakes. In my opinion, you know. In her opinion, I might have been in the full wrong. But I let people be open to believe what they believe. And that's why I wanted to get both sides of the story out as much as I could. You know, I can't dictate what she was going through. I can only dictate what I heard from her. On my side. So this is all one-sided. This is my side of the story. I don't want either of us to get backlash from it. So that's why I wanted to put this up. But also, another thing, don't send a deposit unless you know that person has a puppy that they will give you. Because scams, so deposits are needed to show that you're serious. But at the same time, don't send a deposit unless you know, like, if you want a puppy from me, stop. Like, seriously, stop. So, every breeder, test them. Know that they're real. Know that they have the puppy you want. So, if that's either YouTube, like, don't trust me 100% just because I say I'm trustworthy or whatever. Always test. And this is, so you can ask me on FaceTime, and I'll hop on that FaceTime as soon as I'm available. Like, we can FaceTime, you can see the puppies. You can see on my YouTube. Like, I really, really encourage you to stalk me, basically. Okay, stop. Not literal stalk me, but go on my Facebook, go on my YouTube, go on my TikTok, go on my Instagram, whatever you need to do. Let's FaceTime. I've been thinking about live streaming. Talk to some people that I know, or talk to some people who have gotten puppies from me. Talk to them about their experience. I really want to be a transparent breeder, and I want to bring light to breeders, and I want to make really positive experiences. I always want to grow, and people who have bought several puppies, so I have several people who have bought several puppies from me now, and I think that their buying experiences are different, because as I'm growing as a breeder, I can give more information. Like, I just sent out some texts this morning. I was actually able to give them information on their puppy's temperament, even though the puppy isn't even a week old yet, because I just notice little things, and I handle these puppies every single day, whether you receive updates or not. I show updates Monday through Friday. If I can't, I will let you know. I'm off on weekends. I like to spend time with my family on weekends, because between videoing, keeping the house, watching my daughter, watching all the dogs, YouTubing, you know, it's a lot. And I also surf the internet, keep an eye on other breeders. And I'm not doing that for competition. I'm seeing like what other people are doing, what prices are, because prices are always fluctuating for dogs. The market's really saturated right now. In the States, these dogs that I'm selling would be worth $3,000 to $5,000, but unfortunately I'm in Alaska. So if you are in the States, get a dog from me, because it actually would be cheaper, or from another breeder in Alaska. And I never gatekeep. If I don't have the puppy you want, or in the future I am not expecting something that you want, I will give you the names of trusted breeders. Breeders that, I mean, I'm not going to say trusted, but breeders that A, I know they breed, and B, I know that if you give them money, you're going to get a dog. So that's, you know, basically breeders who are not sitting there with a bunch of photos. Also, I wanted to tell you that just seeing a dog does not mean that you're going to get that dog. My husband was actually scammed shortly before he met me, and he got videos, he got updates, like they FaceTime everything. What this person did was they purchased a puppy and they put that puppy up for sale, and they worked at a shipping place, and so they were able to give out shipping numbers. They were able to extremely scam. And this is why I think social media breeders are so important, because you can see the journey. You can see that they have dogs. You can see that they're selling dogs. And if they scam you, you can call them out. I think it's really good for people to be called out, because an honest person, I mean, it only affects you if you actually did wrong. Like, I just think it's important for honesty and being called out if you do something wrong, and if they learn from it and do better, then that's good. If they ignore it, pretend it didn't happen, deny it, I mean, unless they show proof of denying it, like, or, you know, proof that it's not real. I don't know. I just think that people need to stop having so many secrets. Of course, keep certain information off the internet, but be really transparent, especially as a breeder, because this is not an object that you're selling or creating. It's an animal. It's a living creature, and this is going to be part of somebody's home. Some of these dogs change people's lives forever. Some of them save people's lives. Like, with the rates of suicide and everything, sometimes just having an animal can save someone's life. So that's why I take it so seriously, because these dogs, I ain't telling how much, like, they've done to me. Like, they're the best companion. When you're lonely, they're just there. They always love you, you know? And you take care of them and love them, and they give you wiggles and so much, yeah. See, look at this girl. This girl is so bonded to me. I don't know what I would be without her. 2 dogs in particular, well, that are living right now, they've changed my life. This one, I miss my Hazel too. She was the one in my wedding. And then Kimbo. Everybody remembers Kimbo. I miss him so much. I'm glad that I can go visit him though, but I miss him so much. He was another life changer dog for me, and I will never forget what he did for me. He protected me. He was basically my guard dog. He did his job amazing. But yeah, she's my companion. My companion. Don't forget, the 21st of this month in Girdwood, Alaska, I will be there with Corn Dog. Yeah. So, with Corn Dog in Girdwood, I think it's 3 p.m. at like some bar. There's information in it in an old video, or maybe I'll pop up. But we're gonna do a weenie race. We're gonna enter her in. We're gonna enter her into the weenie race. They're also gonna be like a measuring thing. Next year, I'd like to enter her into the... Okay, now that they're outside, they're gonna bark for a little bit. I'm gonna finish this all up. I want to enter Corn Dog in the race next year at the Tanana Valley Fair. I'm entering her in the race this month. I'll put a flyer up, like right there. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I mean, if this video never gets views, that's whatever. At least it's on the internet. And I'm not gonna put the name of the breeder. If you do find out who she is, do not cause trouble. Like, I just want to be honest and share this situation because there's stigmas, troubles. I don't know. There's so much negativity about breeders and people trying to tear each other down. Like I would tell someone, go buy that puppy. Like that puppy that I put a deposit on, go buy him. Like, if you want that dog, go buy him. But don't place a deposit unless you are sure. Because that was my biggest mistake. Is I jumped ahead. I wasn't in a stable place to take on a dog like that. And he wasn't the dog I wanted. So, don't be hasty like I did and put a deposit on a dog. When you don't have, like, I did have the rest of the funds. But I couldn't take the dog. So, just don't place a deposit on a dog that is not exactly what you want. It's better to wait. I mean, wait 2-3 years. Like, I know someone who's waited 3 years because she's waiting for the perfect wiener dog. She's been on my waiting list for 3 years now. So, yeah, do that until you get the first dog, the very specific dog you want. And yes, message me to get on my waiting list, because you can be on my waiting list as long as you want, and you'll get updates of like litters coming, and you can just say pass or not respond, and then you can also respond and say, hey, I'm interested in this litter, and then put a deposit, get one, you know, just wait for the right timing and don't rush it.